It's Third Coast Music Network, DJ David J here, and we are so delighted to have as our guest live in studio today an artist whom the New York Times has called the Renaissance Woman of Austin, Texas. Around here, we also call her beloved local. She's the multi-talented San Antonio native, Patricia Vonne. Patricia, welcome to KSYM.
Hola, thank you for having me.
Is this your first time at KSYM?
No, it's my home, away from home.
Oh,
it's
excellent.
Been a while.
Okay,
it's been a
good.
while.
Well,
Maybe
welcome.
A couple albums.
Okay, well, welcome back.
Ago.
We're just delighted to have you here, and we're looking forward to learning more about you and your music, as well as some of your other artistic pursuits. This is where the Renaissance part comes in over the next half hour or so. So let's start by mentioning that you have 3 shows coming up this week in Texas, starting this Tuesday, December 9th at Jazz Texas in the Pearl area. That's a 7:30 show. Thursday, December 11th at Doc's Jazz Club in Houston, which you told us is the same Doc as the Doc Watkins from Jazz Texas.
Sure is.
And Saturday, December 13th at Seaboys Heart and Soul in Austin, and that's a 10 p.m. show. So I understand this is your Christmas show. Tell us
it's
about
like a
that.
holiday birthday show because my birthday is December 19th, and I always love to have a big blowout party, see my friends, and rock and roll. You know, that's what keeps us young, right? Rock and roll, good living, healthy.
Sure.
And that's where it's going to be all week long, celebrating in Houston, San Antonio, and Austin.
Excellent. Well, let's just start with one of your tracks from your holiday CD, My Favorite Holiday. You want to set this up for us, and then we'll kick it off.
Sure. So this was made during the pandemic, and my initial idea was a single because I was raising funds every Friday, doing a live stream for the San Antonio Food Bank, giving everything to them, and my sphere of influence, my friends and fans, raised enough money to feed over 75,000 people.
Wow.
Into 2020. So I was inspired to the next Friday to let's write a Christmas song original, and it became this song. I sent it to my friend Scott Plunkett, who played keyboards and piano for Chris Isaac. I said, let's just do a single piano vocal, call it a day, simple. And when he sent it back sounding the way you're going to hear it, like a Nelson Riddle orchestra, I heard a voice from heaven just say, do one for me, like an album, not just a single. That was little baby Jesus talking to me. So baby Jesus had other plans, and then a flood of inspiration and divine inspiration. 10 songs were written in 6 months' time and co-written with David Grissom, Rosie Flores, Ruben Blades, Rick Del Castillo produced it. And so this was the first track that just changed my heart to make a full-blown Christmas album of original music.
And it's called?
It's called Santa's on His Way.
And here we go. Patricia Vonne, Santa's on His Way, right here on the Third Coast Music Network.
Christmas time is here again. Que felicidad. People singing round the world. Feliz Navidad. Children are all caroling. Spirits in the air. Celebrate the newborn king. Love is everywhere. Fields of snow and evergreen. Streets are up in lights. Come together, you and me. Love with all your might. Santa's working overtime, revving up his sleigh, kissing under mistletoe. Santa's on his way. Let's rock it down to Bailey Park and bring the Yuletide cheer. Your velvet kiss makes my heart bells ring, and an angel gets his wings. Kiss makes my heart bells ring, as an angel gets his wings. Knock, knock, de navideña, que felicidad. People all around the world cherish Christmas time. Santa's working overtime, he's revving up his sleigh. dancing under mistletoe. Santa's on his way. Santa's on his way. Santa's on his way.
And that's our in-studio guest, Santa's on His Way, Patricia Vonne, from the album My Favorite Holiday. And Patricia, we mentioned that you are a San Antonio native, so tell us about what part of town you grew up in, where you went to high school, maybe childhood memories.
I'm a pro vet. I went to Providence High School, like my big sis Angela. We lived not far from there, although I was born on the west side of town on Continental Street, and we moved over here when I was 1 year old. And yeah, I'm one of 10 children, and 5 girls, 5 boys, and music was always encouraged in the house thanks to my mom and dad. And they would always have mariachis come over to the house for special occasions, like the trio, Chepes from Mi Tierra. I mean, can you imagine at a young age having a live performance of mariachis in your living room? But because what was so impactful was that was a connection to our heritage musically. Like that's us, that's, and so that was what was so powerful. So when it came time for me to write music, when I decided I was going to start a rock and roll band, I wanted it to be bilingual, to honor my heritage. And I do use my middle name, Vonne, because when I moved to New York City, pretty much after high school, I think went to 1 year of college and then bolted to New York, I couldn't get work as Rodriguez. They was like green eyes, you look, white skin, you don't look Mexican. I would get that a lot. And it was just so horrible to hear that, but it was true. So I went, I'm going to try using my middle name, Vonne. And I lived and worked and survived New York City for 11 years. Wow. Started my band up there, Texas original, like Texas roots rock with a Spanish flavor. And I decided right then and there, every album I put out will be bilingual. It's like scream out my heritage out loud on stage every night. And but I was able to eat. I needed to survive New York, so that's why the Vonne came into play.
Well, that's great. So the show that I went to at Jazz Texas that you did back in the summer, I guess it was June or July, about half of it was English songs, half in Spanish. Is that the same mixture you do at any show, or does it depend on where you are?
Yeah, okay. Everywhere I go. Because one of my biggest influences was the Cruzados from East LA. They're now known as Tito and Tarantula, and they scored many of my brother's films, like Desperado and Machete and From Dusk Till Dawn. They were the vampire band. They were known as the Plugs in East LA punk band. Then they were the Cruzados, but that was the music that inspired me, because they had Spanish music on their album, like one Spanish song, and their music spoke to us. I mean, obviously they scored my brother's films. They were like the soundtrack of my brother Robert Rodriguez, his films. But that was our hero, Tito La Riva. So I was like, man, if I could write music, I want to be like his, bilingual. Yeah. And to me, that was his identity. His thumbprint was that Spanish song, and it was so amazing to me. That's what I want my music to be like.
Well, that's great. Tell us a little bit about you're performing with a trio this week. Tell us about your trio, who they are, what they play, anything else you want us to know about them.
Yes, David Perales is from San Antonio.
Yay.
And he's on violin. He's an amazing genius on violin, and really brings that gypsy sound to my roots rock music. So he's going to be with us. And Robert LaRoche, my longtime songwriting partner, I met him in New York City in 1990. We've known each other for over 35 years. And we pretty much started writing music together from the debut album when we moved here. He's from Massachusetts, and he had his own solo. I saw his band at the China Club, where I was a co-check girl. And one fateful night I was covering a shift as a co-check girl for my sister. I was not 21 yet, and this was a New York City nightclub. And we met, and then we just kept in touch over the years, and then we started songwriting together, and then we both moved back to Texas. And yeah, and in fact, on the Christmas album, with the New York connection, you can picture me, pro-vet from Providence High School, San Antonio girl, working as a co-check at the famed China Club, where the musicians that eventually played on this Christmas album, COVID album, were the musicians I met and nurtured friendships, which happened to be Steve Ferroni on drums, who played for Tom Petty for about 20 years, Carmine Rojas, who played bass for David Bowie.
Wow.
Tommy Price on drums of Rebel Yell, Billy Idol, played on this. He played on Santa's on Rampage. This album ended up being, they chose that song on Little Steven's Underground Garage as the coolest song in the world. So thank you, Tommy Price, my heavenly angel, for playing on that song. And he also played on Old Man Santa on this album. So
you've had some heavy hitters in your songwriting career.
Yeah, and it all stems from really nurturing friendships. I mean, if I had not met them, and my sister helping me, she helped me move to New York City. She's the firstborn of all of us 10 children. She was the trailblazer, and she helped me move there. And if she hadn't, I would be living a completely different life. I just have a feeling. But I got to do it in New York because no one cares if you fall flat on your face. So I knew I wanted to start my band in New York, and she helped me. She pulled me up from my bootstraps and helped me move up there, and we were there. She's still there. She's still, she's an actress and a mother of 2, and she's going to be, in a play in Houston in the new year. And she loves acting. It's in our blood, music and acting and film.
Yeah. A very talented family and a very large family, so that's great. Now, I know you wanted to feature one of these Spanish language tracks, so tell us about that while I cue it up.
Well, I'm wearing a Ruben Blades shirt because I love him. He is a man of many talents and just a humanitarian, but he co-wrote this song with me. It's the intrepid trek of Mary and Joseph trying to find a safe place to give birth to baby Jesus. It's called Las Posadas, and he surprised me. I had asked him if he had time to sing on it with me, and he sent it back. He went to New York and recorded his part, sent it back with a whole verse. And he even mentions my name, Con Patricia, yo te invito. I invite you to praise baby Jesus. So he co-wrote it with me and sings on it. And it's one of my favorite songs on the album because he's just such a generous spirit.
That's great. Well, let's listen to it now. Las Posadas, Patricia Vonne, right here on the Third Coast Music Network.
De las posadas, con dulces ponché las piñatas, el homenaje al camino, lleno de rechazos y penurias, de la reina del cielo y San José el carpintero. Guía a la tierra santa, tierra bella. Salen de Nazaret por el camino a Belén. Con todos llenos de amor y de confianza también. De la reina del cielo y San José el carpintero. Con Patricia yo te invito. Ese nene que nació hoy, nació bendito. Lo celebran en ciudades y en pueblitos. Bendiciones hoy a tu tiplén. En esta Navidad y siempre. Amén. Ella montada en el burro y en la piel sintiéndose perdidos, por fin consiguen un pesebre donde nace el niño Jesús, el niño Jesús, el niño Jesús.
That's Patricia Vonne, our in-studio guest today from my favorite holiday, Las Posadas, and we're getting to know each other a little bit better, getting to know about Patricia and her music and her background. Patricia, you want to tell us about some of your other musical influences growing up? What did you listen to on the radio? What kinds of records did you buy? Do you remember the first record you bought with your own money? That
The
sort of thing?
Stray Cats, Built for Speed, with my own moolah. It turned my life around. I just love Brian Setzer, and he's
Yeah.
still one of my favorite all-round musicians. Saw him at the Laurie Auditorium when I was in grade school with my friend Adriana.
Oh, nice, nice.
And when my very first live show with my dad and my brother Robert, because Robert was learning the saxophone, and our compadre Mario said, "You've got to go listen to Johnny Reno and the Sax Maniacs from Fort Worth, Texas." That really changed our lives entirely. He's like a family friend now, and
Wow.
he has been playing and co-writing songs on all my albums. I mean, I wrote a song for him on my second album called Sax Maniac, Johnny Reno and the Sax Maniacs. And on YouTube, you can see him play on that song. So live at Antone's. So it's Sax Maniac with Johnny Reno, Patricia Vonne. So I just love writing tribute songs for my heroes. I also wrote a song for Joe Ely on my second album, that same album, Guitars and Castanets. It's called Joe's Gone Ridin'.
Okay.
Totally all about Joe Ely. And we're good friends. And another one was Alejandro Escovedo. The title track was for him when he was really sick with hepatitis C. We
Wow.
almost lost him in 2005. So he took the title track, and I co-wrote that with my brother Robert, Guitars and Castanets, Guitarras y Castanuelas. So, but Johnny Reno was a huge influence on us, and he went on to play music for my brother's film Sin City, when you hear the saxophone in there. And we just texted him yesterday, actually. He's a good friend of ours.
I just saw Sin City for the first time a couple of weeks ago.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I wanted to see some of your brother's movies in preparation for this. So I saw
Oh,
Sin City,
awesome.
A Dame to Kill For. This morning I watched El Mariachi for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? Well, speaking of Sin City, I played Dallas, also known as Zorro Girl, and both them. And El Mariachi, my brother just made a revised version of his book called Rebel Without a Crew, which I think everyone should read, because it's not just about filmmaking. It helps in every realm of everyone's lives. And he did a revised version on audio, so you hear his voice speaking. I stayed up until 4 a.m. listening to it and texted him, because he's an insomniac, and he wrote back right away. I said, I'm absolutely, I cried a few times because I was there. I mean,
Wow.
we're only 18 months apart. I was there when it all went down. He was a guinea pig. He sold his body to science to raise money, $7,000, to make a film in Mexico in 2 weeks, 14 days. Borrowed a camera, and he's in detail. He would keep it. He still keeps a diary. So he wrote that book by his diary entries in detail of how he did it.
Wow.
And it's just astounding. How far would you go to make your passion come to life? And he speaks of that, trying to encourage people, don't wait for that inspiration, just start writing and it'll come through, and the spirit will guide you. And I have many friends that say, "Oh, I'm not ready. I'm like, yes, you are ready, just do it.
No time like the present.
Yeah.
So the other amazing thing about El Mariachi, your brother was 23 when he made that film?
Yes, and it made the Guinness Book of World Records for the least expensive film to ever be released theatrically. And it's just such an amazing story.
Yeah, I remember reading some years ago it was made on a shoestring budget, and then when I looked it up after watching it today, I saw $7,000. I thought,
Yeah.
that's not even a whole shoestring. That's like
Well,
that little plastic end of a shoestring.
He was the crew.
Wow.
He wanted to learn. John Carpenter was one of many of his heroes, because if you see, John Carpenter, wrote it, directed it, edited it. Sylvester Stallone on Rocky II, he wrote it, directed it, stars in it. Those people were really, knighted him into that arena of, like, I could do this myself. I want to learn how to do the lighting and how to do the camera work and hold the camera and, and shoot it and write it and everything. So that was what was so astounding about El Mariachi, was that there was no crew, and that's why it was called Rebel Without a Crew.
Yeah. Wow.
And none of the actors in that film were actors. Some of them were bedside partners in the Pharmacos, fast healing drug facility where he sold his body to science. They
Gosh.
were not actors at all. None
Wow.
of them.
Well, it's a very entertaining film, and that's such an accomplishment to do that at that age. And of course, his career has just taken off from there. I mean,
Yes.
now it's big budgets and
And bodies
big
of work.
audiences.
He believes really, really deeply, and he'll mention this in the book, make a body of work, because there are always going to be detractors trying to knock you down, or what are you doing next? And he goes, well, I have a body of work. Go watch it.
Yeah.
I have 5 Spy Kids films. It's a franchise. Go watch it. It's for children and for parents. That was based on our family. I mean, it's interesting. He talks about also, being thwarted, even though he made that film. It was hard. Like, the producers were saying, why does that film Spy Kids have to be about a Mexican family? Why can't they be American? He goes, they are American. It's my family. We're Mexican American. So, he really fought for representation and inclusivity, making his films, and so I'm so proud of him. Go, bro.
Yeah, it's great. How about another track off My Favorite Holiday? What do you want to play next?
Let's do Santa's on a Rampage. I wrote this with my fellow San Antonio Rose, Rosie Flores, who just got off the road with Robert Plant. He handpicked her to open for him on his tour, and we co-wrote this together, and it was chosen by Little Steven's Underground Garage on Sirius XM when it came out as the coolest song in the world. It's called Santa's on a Rampage.
All right, here we go. You're listening to the Third Coast Music Network with our special guest, Patricia Vonne. This is Santa's on a Rampage from My Favorite Holiday.
Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. He's gonna drop the toys for the boys and girls before midnight. Yeah. Santa wants to rock more than ever before. His friends will be waiting for him at the front door. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. Everybody's popping and rocking like Elvis tonight. They're all in the spirit 'cause it's Christmas Eve, alright. Santa's out the groove and they got the job done. Now it's time for Santa to have a little fun. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. Gonna make the party tonight. Santa's gonna make the party tonight. Santa's on a rampage tonight. Santa's gonna make the party tonight. Santa's on a rampage, burning up the sky tonight. All the Santa's elves are rocking like fireflies. Yeah. Filling up the sleigh with a mountain of toys. Gonna bring joy to the girls and boys. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. Party tonight. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. Party tonight. Yeah. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party. Santa's on a rampage, he's gonna make the party tonight. Party tonight.
Christmas time is here, and Patricia Vonne is coming to town. She's our in-studio guest today ahead of her Tuesday night show at Jazz Texas, and she also has a show coming up in Houston later in the week and Austin over the weekend. So, Patricia, I understand to change gears a little bit, you've got another album coming out in the spring, right? It'll be your 10th studio album. Tell us about it.
My 10th studio album. I'm so excited because you never know when you're going to write your last song, or you just never know. And so, yeah, these songs, I'm very proud of them, and it's already recorded, and I might add a few more. I always wanted to write with Charlie Sexton, so it's just a matter of if he has time. He said yes. It's just a matter of he has time in his busy schedule. So I'm putting it out there with a prayer. And but yeah, we have the title track is called "My Heart's Got a Mind of Its Own." And I co-wrote it with Johnny Reno and Chris Isaac. Woohoo! Wow. Johnny Reno performed with Chris as his saxophone player for about 6 years, and so this is like a 360, right? He introduced me to the band, to Chris Isaac and Silvertone, back in 2006, and we opened for them on the Texas tour, and we've just been such good friends with the whole band. And all these years later, Johnny sent me this song, and we co-wrote it together. So it's gonna be exciting.
So you're a pretty prolific songwriter. How's your songwriting process? Where do you get your song ideas? Do you have to isolate yourself for a while and try to produce something? Or how does your songwriting process work for you?
What Johnny Reno told me a long time ago when I listened, he said, it's all in the title, Patricia. It's all in the title.
So do you come up with the title first?
I usually do.
Wow.
Yeah. Like Severina. I mean, that was my grandmother's name. She's from Rio Grande City. Severina Rodriguez. So I knew that was its song title in itself. And Joe's Gone Ridin', about Joe Ely, and Rebel Bride, that came as a song title, and Top of the Mountain. A lot of these did actually. I actually have some of my albums here. Let's see. Tidal Wave was, and Graceland Trip was a title already. I have Rattle My Cage. That was funny. Rosie was on the phone with somebody, and she's like, "Rattle My Cage." I go, "That's a good title." So
that's a good song.
Thanks.
It's a really entertaining video.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
I co-wrote that with Johnny Reno and Paul Bowl. I love making music videos. You can check them all out on YouTube. And this Christmas album, there's a music video for every one of these songs, which also made it a miracle album. But yeah, usually if I'm on the road, like in Europe, I love riding on the road because I'm sitting there looking at this beautiful scenery, and we have just played a show, and your heart's about to explode with excitement because I love my audiences. For anyone who takes the time out to come and see me play, I thank them profusely on stage and afterwards, meeting and greeting them in whatever language they speak in. And it's just I just feel so inspired to write the next album, and usually it's on the road.
Oh, that's interesting. So you've done at least as much, if not more, writing overseas as you have back at home.
Yeah, like some of these songs, like there's one called The Sailor and the Mermaid, El Marinero y la Sirena, and I actually co-wrote that with Michael Martin of the Infidels. He was on tour with Tom Russell somewhere in the UK, and I was in Denmark, Odense, Denmark, the hometown of Hans Christian Andersen. Thinking of my 21 nieces and nephews at the time, I was like, I want to write a song about the Little Mermaid because I saw the Little Mermaid everywhere. So I wrote him because he loves nautical themes in some of his songs. And I said, you be the sailor, I'll be the mermaid. You write your lyrics as the sailor, and I'll do the mermaid, and we'll make an animation out of it. So we did the animation. He's an amazing artist, illustrator. So he drew the sailor, I drew the mermaid, and all the watercolor backgrounds. And I took this class at the Austin School of Film, how to make your own music videos using your own drawings. So I said, Michael, let's do this. And so it's 2D animation, stop motion. Took me about 8 months to make, but it was so worth it. He gave me his drawings, and I put them together and made a move, and so that one was that one was a lot of fun to make. But yeah, traveling. So that one was done in Denmark. I've written many in Spain. Like I have a compilation Spanish album called Viva Bandolera with 17 Spanish songs. Most of them were written in Andalusia. My ancestors are from Spain and Mexico, and my sister Elizabeth moved to Sevilla for 7 years to learn the art of flamenco dance. And so that one song, La Gitana de Triana, which Triana, I wrote for her. It's right across the Guadalquivir of Sevilla. It's in Sevilla, but it's the little Spanish quarter called Triana where flamenco flourished and became what it is. And she lived there for 7 years. So I wrote that song about her. And a lot of my Spanish songs were written in Granada, about Federico García Lorca, Fuente Vaqueros, and La Huerta de San Vicente. And torera. It's exciting to travel. I'm a Sagittarius. I love traveling, and to just have a memento from each place that you go with a song and say,
Yeah.
I wrote this there. I wrote this there.
So when you hear these songs again, it takes you back to where you wrote them? Would you say?
Sure. Yeah, and on the Christmas album, like the very first song you heard, I put in there Weihnachtsmarkten. It's German for Christmas market. So Weihnachtsmarkten, Naviden, yeah. So, because I love Christmas markets whenever I go to Germany, and we travel there a lot. I always love to, Guten Abend, meine Freundin, alles gut? Danke schön für die Gastfreundlichkeit. And
Wow.
so I love to, say as much as I can English, Spanish, and their language. And they just appreciate it so much.
Yeah, I think folks who speak other languages appreciate the effort that you make if you try to speak to them in their language. I think that's a common.
And explaining to them, especially in Germany, because they had no idea that we have German towns here and the German influence in Polish and Irish. So when I tour in Poland and I hear music that sounds like Flaco Jimenez, I go, oh my gosh, this is where it came from.
Yeah, there's so much German influence, especially in Central Texas. I mean, obviously,
Yes.
with the accordion and so much of the other culture.
Yes, it's so exciting.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about some of your other artistic pursuits, because you are multi-talented. So you've made short films.
I
Tell us
started off
about-
making, from my debut album, which was in 2003, I love music videos. I'm from the MTV era. I even got to open for Golden Earring. Remember Golden Earring from Holland?
1980s, yeah.
The lady that smiles. I was the lady that smiled on stage in Tilburg, Holland. I just love making a music video because I'm a very visual person, as my brother is. And so 9 albums later, again, on YouTube, you can watch them all. But I also loved animation. So I started making 2D, stop motion videos for some of these. Paris Trance was one of them. And the Sailor and the Mermaid, the Ruben Blades song that you play, Las Posadas. I collaborated with Johnny Villarreal to bring Ruben in that video. So I'm a live person in that animation, dancing around and singing as a live person that he collaborated with me. And I drew all the backgrounds and Ruben, his face, his portrait. And so then that's how we were able to get Ruben Blades in a music video, was through animate. The magic of
Nice.
animation,
Nice.
right? Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, well, speaking of dance, you promised me that you would tell us something about your pursuits in ballet.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Well, my performance on stage, I love playing the castanets. My mom always had a pair of castanets in her armoire under lock and key with her flamenco gown. She was a registered nurse and worked the night shift. And I'm looking in the closet saying, what does she do at night? She gave me my first castanet lesson. And so, but she also put me in ballet along with my sisters. And so my performance is dancing when I'm performing the Spanish songs with my castanets. And so I have to keep that up. I mean, I love ballet. My passion is ballet, and I still take ballet. So when you would ask me, what do I like to do when I'm not performing or writing, I love taking ballet class. And one of my teachers that still teaches is Nancy Smith. She had founded the Vladimir Merrick San Antonio Academy. When I was I think 9 years old, I took my first class there, and I just took a class over the weekend with her.
Wow.
She now teaches at the San Antonio Ballet School on Military Drive. She brought Baryshnikov to San Antonio.
Wow.
So there you go. And she is an amazing legend here and keeps the passion of ballet. So yeah, that's what I love to do. I have a passion for ballet, and I incorporate flamenco movements on stage with my castanets. I love to do 6 or 7 pirouettes on stage while we're doing it, and they really love that in Europe because they love that incorporating dance with a rock and roll show. I kick my foot up in the air like David Lee Roth and then do some pirouettes, and it's really nice to incorporate that.
Well, you certainly exude a lot of energy in your shows from the one I've been to, so I'm looking forward to seeing you again on Tuesday at Jazz
you.
Texas. Let's try another one off of my favorite holiday if you want. And which one do you want to go with?
Let's play Noche Buena. I wrote that with Rick Del Castillo and Alex Ruiz. And so it's Christmas Eve, Noche Buena.
All right, here we go on the Third Coast Music Network with Patricia Vonne.
Ay, qué noche buena, dulce noche buena, el tesoro del cielo y la felicidad.
Santa Anastasia y Papá Noel te dio la bienvenida a Emanuel. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios, mi milagro. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios.
Todos celebramos, estamos ansiosos por el nacimiento del niño Jesús. Estrellas encendidas iluminan el mundo y alivian las penas y el dolor. Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz amistad. Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz amistad. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios,
Mi milagro.
luz divina, Cordero de Dios, Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz amistad. Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz amistad. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios, mi milagro. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios, mi milagro. Luz divina, Cordero de Dios, sálvanos, sálvanos. Feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz amistad. Feliz, 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 feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz Navidad. Feliz, feliz, feliz
Patricia Vonne from her Christmas album, My Favorite Holiday. We just heard Noche Buena. And Patricia, your album is titled My Favorite Holiday. So tell us about why it's your favorite holiday. Any special memories growing up in such a large family at Christmas time? Are there any traditions that you still observe at this time of year?
Sure. Well, I was always reminded by my mom. My birthday is December 19th, and she said, "You were born 6 days before baby Jesus." And that always, made me feel really, really like my heart was full. And, we've just, I'm one of 10 kids, and my mom and dad raised us right, with strong values and everything, and what Christmas was all about. And just having a family to go home to. A lot of people don't have a family to go home to. So you cherish what you have. You don't miss what you don't have. My dad's from Rio Grande City, from very modest beginnings. He's one of 11 children. And he was a door-to-door salesman for 39 years, selling cookware. And, they sacrificed everything. My mom, like I said, my mom was a registered nurse at night. So she would be home when we got home from school.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have much. So, but we had a lot of love. And just Christmases were filled with, like I said, my mother, not only did the mariachis come to our house, but my mom one of her favorite movies was The Sound of Music. And when we saw that film, we were like, Mom, that was you. You know, she, before she met my dad, she was in a convent. She was what you call a postulant, right?
Wow.
And at the St. Incarnate Word College. But then she got her nursing degree, and she was thinking of being a nun at some other time, later time. And then she met my dad on a blind date, and he proposed on the third date in 1 week.
Gosh.
So that changed her life completely. She said God had other plans. And but yeah, she taught us our second language, Spanish, through the Mexican folk songs. She would play guitar and teach us the harmonies. And so that music was always in the house. And at Christmas time, my sisters would always love to get together and sing. Not all of us would sing, you know, songs together for Christmas, but one in particular that landed on this album was Carol of the Bells. And on all my albums, I don't have one cover. I'm a very staunch believer in, like, you know, want to leave a legacy behind. And if someone hears one of my songs on the radio, I want it to be one that I wrote. So, but on this Christmas album, I made an exception. And because I wanted people to hear my four sisters and I, during COVID, we were in 4 different states, 4 different studios, and just like the darkest time that we were all in a bubble. I wasn't able to see my mom and dad for like 8 months, but we were all separated. But I wanted this song to be on the album because it just, you feel that we're in the same room singing a cappella together, and we couldn't have been further apart, you know.
So did you record it simultaneously with them?
No, it was separate.
Okay.
Everything was separate. My sister Angela, the firstborn, she did hers in New York City first, and then I sent it to Mexico for my sister who lives in Mexico, and then my sister in LA, and Tina in Austin, and myself. And we were in different studios, but it sounds, when you hear it, this is the love that we had in our house, thanks to our mom and dad that sacrificed everything for us and shared their love of music and the arts.
Well, why don't we hear that now? I'm going to cue up Carol of the Bells, and anything else you want to tell us about it to just
I love
kill
my
these few seconds?
sisters. I love my sisters. I love my brothers. I love my family, and I love music. I love, gracias Diosito por la música en mi corazón.
All right, Carol of the Bells with Patricia Vonne and her sisters right here on the Third Coast Music Network.
Hark how the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, big and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, merrily. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, holly bound, raising the sound, high, tones, gaining the ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, merry Christmas, merry Christmas, ding dong, and ding dong. While the bells, sweet silver bells, all seem to say, throw cares away. Ding dong, the cheer to young and old, big and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, merrily. One seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they bound, raising the sound, gaining the ring, while people sing songs of good cheer. Christmas is here. Ding dong, merry Christmas, ding merry Christmas, ding dong, and ding dong. Oh, they send on without end their troubles to every home. Ding dong, ding dong.
Patricia Vonne and her sisters, Carol of the Bells from My Favorite Holiday. Patricia, tell us what you were telling us during the song, listeners, about
I
about
wanted
this.
this to be a gift to the world forever, because we would always, during Christmas, we would call up our aunts and uncles and whoever wanted to listen, and we would just chime this song to them over the phone, or if the postman came to the door, we would just belt it out. So it brought us joy.
There's nothing like family harmonies. I mean, those family harmonies cannot be duplicated by people who are not related to each other, I don't think.
Oh, thank you.
I'm a big bluegrass fan, and my favorite bluegrass groups are the family groups, because those
Right.
harmonies are just They're so tight.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. Mis hermanas.
Well, speaking of bluegrass and other forms of music, what other artists or bands do you enjoy listening to? Are there other genres that you gravitate towards when you're just kind of listening in the car or streaming something?
I went to Portugal with my sister a couple years ago and heard fado music. It was so beautiful.
And what's
It was
that? Tell us what
fado music. How do you explain? You just have to Google it and
Okay.
listen to it yourself.
F-A-D-O?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else do I love? I've always loved Willie Nile. I met him in Kilkenny, Ireland. He's known as the One Man Clash from New York City, and we became friends forever. And we actually co-wrote a song on my Top of the Mountain 7th album called City is Alive. He's just like the poet laureate of New York City. I think Rolling Stone said he's like the One Man Clash, and extremely prolific. One of my favorites. Oh goodness, I love classical as well, classical music and whatever I do love that Little Steven's Underground Garage. They have an eclectic, the Chesterfield Kings came out with a new album. I played castanets on one of their songs and got to really delve into their music, like 60s retro music, and still love country. I was just in Nashville, went to the Country Music Hall of Fame and got the whole history behind country music of all that. I've always loved Joe Ely music, Joe Ely and Alejandro Escovedo Alejandro's actually from San Antonio. And still a Charlie Sexton fan from the very beginning, but yeah, whatever I love to hear on Sirius XM. They have good choices.
And let me remind the listeners that Patricia will be performing Tuesday night, December 9th, just 2 days from now at Jazz Texas, 7:30 p.m. There are still seats available, so if you want to take in that show, you can still get tickets. The last time I checked a couple of hours ago, there were still some tables and some
And
scattered
come
bar
hungry.
seats.
They have an amazing cuisine, and it's one of my favorite places to play. Thank you, Doc Watkins, for having me. I just love playing there.
And speaking of Doc Watkins, he has a new jazz club in Houston, Doc's
Houston,
Jazz.
yes.
And you'll be there Thursday, December 11th, 7:30
December
again.
11th.
Yeah.
This will be the first time we play there. I do have cousins and my auntie Nilda. So, yeah, if you know anyone in Houston, send them there. December 11th, 7:30 show at Doc's Jazz Club.
And then back home where you live in Austin, right?
Yes.
On Saturday, December 13th at Seaboys Heart and Soul. Tell us about that venue.
Seaboys is owned by Steve Wertheimer of the Continental Club. It's on the same street, South Congress.
Oh, okay.
And so he opened up Seaboys a few years ago. And I think this might be the first time we play there as a full band.
Wow.
Believe it or not, we've always played the Continental Club. And so, yeah, and it's a double bill with Rosie Flores. So I go on first with my full rockin' band at 10:30, and then Rosie Flores will hit at midnight. It's going to be a fun birthday holiday bash. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds great. How about another of the tracks off my favorite
Let's
holiday?
do Cumbia Navidad, number 7. I wrote this, and it says Merry Christmas in like 8 languages, and it's just celebrating Christmas. Yeah.
All right, Cumbia Navidad from our guest, Patricia Vonne, off of my favorite holiday.
Cumbia Navidad. Feliz Navidad, Buon Natale, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël, Feliz Navidad, Buon Natale, Feliz Navidad, Joyeux Noël. Cristo nace, Cristo vive, vive para siempre. Cristo nace, Cristo vive, vive para siempre. Amor y paz, prosperidad y más, todos unidos celebramos. Amor y paz, prosperidad y más, celebramos. Navidad, Cristo, Buen Natale, Feliz Navidad. Joyeux Noël, Feliz Navidad. Buon Natale, Feliz Navidad. Joyeux Noël, Joyeux Noël.
Patricia Vonne, our in-studio guest from My Favorite Holiday. And Patricia, tell us a little bit about what your 2026 looks like. What kind of projects are you working on? I know you've got the new album coming out. Are you going to tour to support the album?
Yeah, I'll be going back to Europe in April and May, Germany and Switzerland, Italy. PatriciaVonne.com, VONNE, has all my dates, and we'll keep adding on to that. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be exciting. Yeah, new album, 10th album. I call it my Tarantino 10 because Quentin Tarantino said I'm going to make 10 movies and I'm going to celebrate it. Yeah, and so that's the way I feel. I might branch out, and I would love to make another short film and more animations and write more and do other things and music. But it's just so wonderful to have that milestone marker, as Quentin Tarantino mentioned in his own. I was glad he said that because musicians artists in general give their blood, sweat, and tears to put out a project. Sure. And then when people say, when's the next one? Like, wait a minute, I'm still feeling stretch marks. So it's like, wait a minute, I just released it. So yeah, I'm on my Tarantino 10th album. I feel like Rocky Balboa going the distance.
Well, you can take that as a compliment because when people like what you do, they want more of it. So
yeah, I'm excited.
That's what that's about.
Yes.
So tell us, we're going to wrap up here in just a second, but please remind us of where you're going to be this week so folks can catch you in San Antonio, Houston, or Austin.
Spread the word. This Tuesday, December 9th, I'll be with my trio at Jazz Texas at the Pearl. Thursday, December 11th in Houston, Texas at Doc's Jazz Club on Westheimer Street. On December 13th, Saturday night, I'll be in Austin at Seaboys, double bill with Rosie Flores. I go on at 10:30, close to 10:30. Yeah.
That's about what time things start in Austin anyway, right?
Yes.
10 o'clock, half of San Antonio's asleep, so, the other half are on the St. Mary's Strip.
Yes.
But in Austin, it's an active place.
Thank you for letting me play this Christmas album. I mean, Joe Reyes, I had not mentioned him yet. He plays on the very last song we're going to play on. He plays on the album, but this particular song you're going to hear, he's played on many of my albums, the Joe's Gone Riding song, the Paris Trance song, which have allowed me to, John Lennon Songwriting Contest chose the songs that he played on as, the winners of some of those songs. So Joe Reyes, sending you love from KSYM right now. But he plays on this song that we're going to close it up with. It's the title track, and it's called My Favorite Holiday. And Johnny Reno plays on this one, too. And
let me mention for the listeners, if you just joined us, Patricia Vonne has been our guest really this entire hour. So thank you so much for taking this time to be with us.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
And this interview will be archived. There will be a video archive that will be permanently on the KSYM or the TCMNradio.com website. There's an audio archive of 2 weeks that you can access through spinatron.com or tcmnradio.com, but there will be a video of this interview that will be archived permanently on our website. So, Patricia, thank you so much. We're going to close out with the title track from My Favorite Holiday. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Feliz Navidad, and
Feliz
happy
Navidad
birthday.
a todos. Gracias.
Thank you.
Besos.